What's up, guys? Even though Binance announced they are not supporting the burn on trading and the price of Terra Classic has started to dump, I still believe the biggest move for Terra Classic is yet to come, and we're going to see that within the next few months, most likely. All right, so we have Terra Classic here, and in my last video, I was talking about how I think in the short term, we're likely to see a bigger correction. However, I'm still very bullish on Terra Classic in the mid to long term. So even though we're seeing a correction here, that doesn't mean Terra Classic is dead. These things have to happen. So the price is not going to just go straight up forever. We all know there's going to be a correction eventually. It's amazing the price went this straight up for this long, actually, and we should be very thankful for the massive gains we've already made. However, when you see the price going parabolic like this, we all know eventually there's going to be a correction, and that's fine. These corrections, they have to happen, and they provide support levels for our next leg up. So yeah, I still think the biggest move for Terra Classic is still coming, probably within the next few months. Because remember, guys, the 1.2% burn has not even been implemented yet. And once that's implemented, if we start seeing massive burns, people are going to start FOMOing in again, and we're going to see an even bigger pump. So even though Binance announced that they are not implementing this burn on buying and selling transactions, they're only doing it on withdrawals and deposits. That doesn't mean that they won't eventually implement it on trading as well. And I think they are likely to implement it on trading at some point, probably within the next few months. I think that's very likely. And what can we as a community do to help make this happen? Well, if you're holding Terra Classic on Binance, move it to another exchange. Move it to an exchange that is supporting the burn. So like I don't hold any Terra Classic on Binance. If you hold Terra Classic on Binance, you should move it to another exchange. If every single Terra Classic holder moves their Terra Classic from Binance to another exchange, Binance doesn't want to lose all those users, so they're going to implement the 1.2% burn. So yeah, go ahead, get the word out, tell everyone, share this video so that everyone can move their Terra Classic off Binance. You can share it with friends. Share this video on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, make a Twitter. That way you can help support the Terra Classic community, help the price pump, and yeah, share videos, just post tweets, whatever. So yeah, if everyone moves their Terra Classic off of Binance, they're gonna get the message. If they're not gonna support the Terra Classic community, then we're not gonna support them. So yeah, if we all move our Terra Classic somewhere else, they don't want to lose those users, and they will implement the 1.2% burn. So yeah, I still think I'm still very bullish in the mid to long term on Terra Classic, and I think the biggest move yet is still going to come within the next few months. And yeah, I still think a $1 Terra Classic is possible, and I think it's likely we are going to get to at least 1/10 of a cent this year. So yeah, big things are still coming. So with that being said, now let's look at where the price is likely to head here in the short term. So yeah, like I was saying, the price has just been going parabolic, which means it's not going to go straight up forever. Eventually there's going to be a correction, and I think we're seeing that now. Let's zoom in a little bit. So like I was saying last video, we came down. So this initial dump was from the Binance announcing that they're not supporting it on buying and selling. That basically killed the momentum of this pump. And then this dump was from likely whale manipulation. And we broke through this support, came back up, got rejected at this level, and we're starting to head down again, which means we're very likely to continue this downtrend, possibly to our next support level. We might have some support here at 34. More likely, we could head down to 25 or so down here, maybe even down to our past support at 21. So it could be a pretty big correction. And we also have formed this head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish pattern, and we haven't broken out from it yet, but if we do break the neckline, the price target of this pattern is actually way down at 20. So we have some confluence there, and yeah, I just think, it's possible the pump could continue, especially if we get some good news, but at this point, I think it's way more likely we're going to see a bigger correction. So yeah, if we do see this big dip, that's just going to be an amazing opportunity to buy Terra Classic again for much cheaper and load up for our next big pump, which I think is still very likely to come. All right, so that's what we're looking at here in the short term. Still very bullish in the mid to long term. Now let's look over at Luna 2 real quick, which pumped like crazy the other day. And now it's formed this rising channel. And I think, it could break to the upside, but I doubt it. I think it's way more likely it's going to break to the downside. And if it does break down from this channel, then it will likely come down and test this support level here at about 4.9. Maybe find support there. If it breaks through that, then it's likely to have a much bigger dump. Now and the volume was up to 8 billion, which is insane. Volume now starting to come down significantly, down to 3.8 billion. So yeah, good chance this pump could be dying out for Luna 2. So if you're way up in profits, you may want to consider taking some profits on Luna 2 while you can. All right, now let's look at Ustc. So Ustc has formed this descending triangle, typically a bearish pattern, but it looks like we might be breaking out of it to the upside as we speak, which would give us a price target up at about 7 cents. So we might see a little bit of a pump here. If it broke down, then our price target would be back down at 5 cents. But looks like we're breaking to the upside, which means this pump could potentially continue. And if we zoom out a bit, we did break through support at 5 cents, which means there's a decent chance this pump could continue all the way up to 10 cents. All right. Now, Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin came up to 21 and started hitting this resistance, got rejected a few times, but now it has broken above, came down, retested this level, and looks like it could be getting a bounce here, which means this pump for Bitcoin may continue. And if we zoom out, if it does bounce, it broke through, and now it's retesting. If it does bounce off of it, it could pump all the way to potentially 25,000 again, which would be the price target of this falling wedge. I didn't draw the lines here, but this is a falling wedge, which it broke out of, and the price target is 25,000. So we might actually see that here. All right, so there you have it. In the short term, I think Terra Classic is likely to have a pretty big dump here, a big correction, way overdue for a correction. We've been going straight up for about 2 weeks, so this is expected. And, I wouldn't panic. This is normal. I still think we are likely to see the biggest pump yet, still coming this year for Terra Classic. We haven't even seen the burn start yet. So, yeah, if you're holding Terra Classic on Binance, go ahead, move it to an exchange that actually is supporting the burn on buying and selling, and maybe we can pressure Binance into supporting this burn actually on all transactions. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What are your price targets? And like and subscribe if you found value in this video. Share this video so that everyone can find out about Terra Classic before these burns start. And most importantly, thank you so much for watching till the very end, guys. You guys are the real ones, and I'll see you later.